Hello and welcome back to 21 Days on the Mountain. A chance for us to create space and take a breath for a few minutes. So today, on this gloriously joyful spring day in the French Alps, the sun is shining brightly, it's really quite hot, and I feel as if I need to speak quite loudly above the joyful sound of birdsong. It's as if everybody today, including our neighbours and our neighbours' children that you might hear, is out enjoying this day. And I'm standing in our front garden with a lilac tree on my left, a cherry tree on my right, both just coming into their blossom, into their flower, a little bit later here in the French Alps than perhaps elsewhere in the world. Spring comes a little later. And as I stand here, I'm looking into our back garden, seeing a bank of daffodils, tulips, and other colour from other flowers that we've planted or that were here already when we moved in 8 years ago. And I'm reminded of, in all the seasons, but mainly in the spring, summer and autumn, of all the work, of all the gardening that we've done in quite a large garden, to bring it into its best, to allow it the space to feed the earth, to dig and to turn the soil, and to allow as best we can each shrub and each flower and each plant to breathe and blossom and grow. And when I look at the flowers, it reminds me that, for thousands of years, flowers have been really important symbols at all life events, haven't they? From birth right through to death. Each flower symbolizes perhaps a different emotion. And as we look at a flower, we can't help but feel something. And so when I look into a flower and I look into the heart of the flower, it's as if that flower is connecting me to all other human beings. It's as if that flower, in its beauty, in its vulnerability, in its transience, is reflecting our nature, our human nature. And if, when I look into the flower, I find myself smiling, it's as if, in looking at that flower, I'm finding my inner smile. And what if the whole world were able to look into a flower and find, each one of us, an inner smile that enabled us to see how connected we all are through the flower before us? If you like, looking more deeply into that flower and seeing our universal nature. So as I look into our garden today, at our garden and into our garden, I can't help at this time but look more deeply into the symbolism of all of this. And what I love about that practice is how it helps me to cultivate my inner smile. Somewhere here. So in our practice today, in our silence today, which is going to be a little longer than before, I invite you to look at a flower or visualize a flower in your mind, or find a picture of a flower, or imagine a garden that you've once visited full of flowers, or anything where you can call to mind a single flower or a bunch of flowers, or a time when you were given a flower, or a time when you gave a flower and how good that felt to either give or receive. Call to mind the experience or the vision of a flower or a bunch of flowers. In this silence together, call that to mind and notice the emotion that that evokes. And if you can, cultivate your inner smile. Whatever other emotion arises, look more deeply into the inner smile within you. So remembering our pause practice, pause, focusing into this space between our sternum and our navel, and breathing consciously in and out of our body. Breathing in, I bring an inner smile into my body. Breathing out, I allow that smile to blossom. So as I always do, I'm going to close my eyes to help me concentrate. I invite you to do the same, or to look at a flower or a bunch of flowers, if you prefer. Let's enjoy this silence together for 3 minutes today as we cultivate our inner smile. And when you're ready, on your next breath, gently open your eyes. So Did you manage to find your inner smile? And if for some reason today that's hard, remember, it doesn't mean that it isn't there. So try again another time. And on those days when it's really hard, picture a flower, find a flower, and look deeply inside it. Thank you for joining me here today. I look forward to being with you again tomorrow. Thank you.